welcome our viewers across the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, even abroad, wherever you may be. Welcome to Brunch. And it's a lovely Friday morning in the Caribbean. I'm in Trinidad and Tobago, specifically Scarborough, Tobago, and it's a beautiful day. I mean, the sun is out already, right, guys? So it's a bit hot, as opposed to it was yesterday. It's a bit hot today. But, we are thankful for all our blessings, all the good things that are happening in our life. We focus on those things. Sometimes things may be going wrong, but we focus on the good things that are happening with us today. And similarly, we're going to be focusing on the good stuff this morning. We have some articles for you to keep you in the know. Make sure that you're up on your current events happening in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have today a Newsday article, and this features Jason Julian. He has a vision for International Men's Day, and that's coming up on the 19th. Right? So Jason Julian, Group Deputy CEO, Business Generation First Citizens, addresses the audience at the group's groundbreaking Boys Symposium. In recognition of International Men's Day, which this year is themed Zero Male Suicide, Newsday spoke with Jason Julian, Group Deputy CEO, Business Generation of First Citizens Group, on men's well-being, leadership, and the role of his organization in fostering a supportive environment. Julian shared perspectives and shed light on the initiatives undertaken by First Citizens Group to promote positive role models and well-being for men and boys. International Men's Day, which is observed on November 19th, serves as a platform for promoting positive role models and addressing the multifaceted challenges faced by men. And we love our guys. Yesterday we just had guys on our interviews, right? And they were so energetic and positive. We are applauding our men and our boys today. International Men's Day is coming up on November the 19th, and we're going to be celebrating our men. So thank you for that, Mr. Julian. And then we have a Guardian article, 5 inducted into St. Mary's Hall of Fame. Sister Anne Keynes Douglas of the Provincial Superior Cluny Sisters of St. Joseph Convent chats with Bishop's Father Clyde Martin Harvey at the ceremony. So 5 distinguished people were inducted into the St. Mary's College Hall of Fame earlier this week as the school continued its long-standing tradition of recognizing past students, individuals, and groups as associated with the institution, as well as those who contributed to society. The ceremony was established on October 9, 1997. On Tuesday, the school held its pen portraits for 2023 inductees at the 13th Induction Hall of Fame ceremony at the school's auditorium. The 5 inductees were past students: Patrick Arnold, Bishop Father Clyde Martin Harvey, Carlos David Hihung, Professor Julian Kennedy, and neurosurgeon Dr. Samuel Guralal. So congratulations to those 5 persons who were inducted and celebrated. And we have a Daily Express article this morning as well. Vonette's soiree. We love jazz. Well, I love jazz, right? So we have here, what you won't do for love. Vonette Bigford's emotive vocals echoed that rhetorical question from the late American R&B/jazz legend Bobby Caldwell across a still one Woodbrook Place plaza on a warm Tuesday evening in Port of Spain. Bigford dug deep. The Libre-born multi-genre songstress channeled her gratitude through her best expressed media music to say thanks to her most loyal corporate and personal sponsors. She also announced her upcoming post-carnival concert soiree, scheduled for February 19th at Naparima Bowl, San Fernando, during the Buy Invite Only event at Decky's Bar and Bistro. So they had a good time there with some jazz, and that was her thank you event for her supporters. And it's very important to say thank you. It's very important to say thanks. It encourages persons who have helped you And it also shows your gratitude, right? And gratitude, we know it's a very important aspect of mental well-being, being able to say thank you, being grateful really from the heart. And that was Fawnette's soiree thank you event. We love that. So we're moving on this morning. We're on to who's on today. And we have quite a few interesting interviews. I know you'll want to stick around for these. We have Money Matters, and today with us, we're going to be having Adana Austin, Dixie-Ann Dixon, and they're coming to talk to us about an event coming up, the Global Entrepreneurship Week that's coming up, right? And then we're going to give you the trivia question. Y'all did so well yesterday. Y'all gave us an answer. Y'all checked it out. Thank you for that. So we're going to give you all another question today. And then we have Natoya Jofield. She has her own business, a female entrepreneur, and she's going to come chat with us a little bit about women and business. And then we have coming up Devon Adana. Welcome back. Even before she gets here, she is one of the early persons who was at Tobago Updates doing that, today in history, and we can't wait for her to give us some information today. And then we have Mr. Jared Balfour, and he's going to be chatting with us a little bit about the arts, about performances, about being an artist in the Caribbean and in Tobago. And that's it for us for what's lined up. We're going to go on a little break today, but stick with us. We're coming back with some exciting stuff today. It's Friday. I feel like we should have some drums and chairs, thank God it's Friday kind of thing. But, I'll do that a little later. I hope you're having a good time at home, and check us back in a few minutes.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket. Like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McAl Group.
Back to brunch, that time of the day where it's between breakfast and lunch. You don't know what to enjoy. We're here today in beautiful Tobago, Scarborough, right in the Port Mall, in the Tobago Update Studio. And today we'll be chatting with two amazing women, right? Adana Austin and Dixie-Ann Dixon. And they're here to talk to us about money matters, to explain and, encourage women to get into entrepreneurship. Good morning.
Good
morning, ladies. It's Friday, ladies. You all look amazing. It's really good to see you all this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and I have to say, Adana, it's really good to see you here. I don't know if you remember me. We used to catch Maxis together to head to school.
We did. I know your face looks familiar. I'm like, I know this person.
It's
Nice
really
to
good
see
to see
you.
you. Yes. And Dixie-Ann, I know you are doing quite a lot with AFET, right? And as well, you are the global ambassador for the Women Entrepreneurship Day organization. And you're here to talk to us about money matters, about entrepreneurship, about women, about having, just doing the thing, which we do, right? So ladies, tell us about, I don't know who wants to go first, but tell us about what you're here today to discuss and really explain to our viewers what's happening with Women Entrepreneurship Day.
Okay, so I will start. So I just wanted to,
Mhm.
we are celebrating Entrepreneurship Week, right? And
Right.
the theme for this week is really, for this year's Entrepreneurs Thrive Here. And I think that theme is so fitting for us because, there's such a rise in entrepreneurship across Trinidad and Tobago, and especially with women
Mhm.
across Trinidad and Tobago, right? We are thriving as entrepreneurs. And so many people have taken that route of entrepreneurship for different reasons. But if you recognize, even in our secondary schools, they are teaching the students about entrepreneurship from a very young age. So they understand the importance of entrepreneurship and the tools that they need to become successful entrepreneurs, right? So I think the theme for this year is very fitting for all of us, right? And as I said, there's a huge rise on entrepreneurship. It's an alternative. You're seeing a lot more people going straight into entrepreneurship
Mhm.
before they even their first. Our entrepreneurs are getting younger and younger. They're even starting off as teenagers. Parents are starting kids off really young as
Mhm.
entrepreneurs. And I think that's a really great thing because it also teaches them money management from a very young
Yes.
age, which is very important for any entrepreneur to understand the importance of money, how to manage their money, how to
Mhm.
budget, how to reinvest their money into their businesses, and how to use the money that they make to better their lives in the long run. So I think it's
Yes.
very fitting that this year we're talking about entrepreneurs thrive here because they are thriving.
I really love that. And I couldn't agree with you more, Dana. Women are in really coming into their own, especially in entrepreneurship. And we've always been involved in entrepreneurship. It was a way for us to get some control over our lives and our finances. And it has not really stopped, right? So
No.
I really have to agree with you. The statistics bear you out. You know, Dixian, tell us about this week. It's not just a day for you all. Tell us about this week of activities and the focus Entrepreneurs Thrive here. Is it is it that you all are focusing on perhaps a particular age group? Tell us where the focus is and what is happening for this week.
Well, we're not really focusing on a particular age group because, first of all, we do women's entrepreneurship, the organization, Trinidad and Tobago, is really encompass all ages, right? We actually have, I am the Trinidad and Tobago ambassador, and we also have a youth ambassador, Dosha Charles. So we encourage, as Adana said, you find that the age that women or even men getting into entrepreneurship is even younger and younger. So there's no age group, there's no gap. We welcome all. And our focus this week is, well, today we're having our first initiative as we do TT. First of all, it's a global movement really coming out of the United States. The founder and CEO is Wendy Diamond. And this is actually my first initiative as the TT ambassador for this movement. And the whole idea about it is to actually recognize or bring awareness actually to girls living in poverty and to empower women to do more in terms of entrepreneurship and advance and grow and develop in that area. So this evening at 6:30 we have our webinar and we are focusing on four lovely ladies who are doing wonderful things in the area of technology, as we really want to focus as well, pay a little more attention to the male dominated industries like technology, construction, engineering. So today we're focusing on technology, but it's not limited to persons involved in technology because technology now drives the entire world. It is the engine for everything. So we have women who will be bringing their products and services where we could find business solutions in each area: education, storytelling, so it's a wide range of offering that we're bringing this evening. Four lovely women, and I could call them out just briefly. We have Jamie Hoyt in Smart Term, and her business is data-driven AI-enabled education ecosystem. We have Deidre Leakin, and she is Dingole Limited, and she's focused on using immersive technologies to tell stories. And I think her product and services is with Central Bank. So they do the virtual tour of the Central Bank Museum. We have Cyan Sylvester on Q, and she's also on the board of FinTech, using apps for contactless shopping. And then, of course, we have Nadia Bayer Thomas, 800 Tech, and they have technology solutions for your business. So we really want to be able to highlight and bring and recognize women who are doing great things in the field of entrepreneurship, and also to use them and platform to inspire and motivate others. Our
Right.
objective here in our TTM and our local arm is to really try to um, reduce barriers and create access, as the wider objective is to really use entrepreneurship as a platform to bring women and girls out of poverty. So we want to also go beyond the talk and the workshop. We also want to get into policy change and legislative changes to really create that enabling environment for women to flourish as entrepreneurs. Because we see
Yes.
how transformative it can really be, because
Mhm.
outside of my WeDo hat, I'm also the communication specialist for the Bankers Association, and we do a lot of startup programs. Adana
Mhm.
is one of our key facilitators. We do a lot of work in Tobago as well, and we have seen women and how it has transformed their lives when they start their
Definitely.
business. And this is what we really want to do, to transform lives and advance women in this space.
Yes, I really think what y'all are doing is important work. I'm the chairperson of Sewell TT, the Trinidad and Tobago chapter, and earlier this year we celebrated, well, all over the world, right? Globally, we celebrated International Women's Day, and the theme is digital, right? And we did a
Mhm.
webinar for that, and Jamie was graciously part of that webinar. So I'm very
Yeah.
familiar with her and her work at Smart Term. They provide software for the online learning that's happening in the schools. So they're doing some great work. You have such an amazing panel on that flyer for your week, right? For your activities. And also Deirdre, I'm familiar with Deirdre as well. I was in the all program and she's a coordinator of that program. So I can definitely, I can testify, right? The ladies you all have on there are phenomenal. And I know the other two are also phenomenal, but I can put my hand on a Bible for the other, for Jamie and for Deidre, because I know them personally. They're doing quite a bit of work in terms of not just going and doing workshops, but being an example, because that's what we want. We want to be good examples of what we want to do, what we're preaching, right? We don't want to, the old adage, do as I say, not as I do,
Not as
right?
I
We
do.
want to go
Hmm.
out there and really do what we're preaching. And I commend you all for that, right? I really think, women need to be in every space where decisions are being made.
Yeah,
And money,
definitely.
entrepreneurship, we can't leave women out. That's how a lot of women help their families, send their children to
Correct.
school, right?
Correct.
And entrepreneurship needs to be something that the government, that our society, the processes, the policies really support in a big way. Because as they say, once a woman gets educated, gets into business, the whole community, right,
Correct.
gets uplifted. It's something amazing,
Yeah.
So I commend you all for what you're doing. And Dana, I want to talk to you for a little bit about when we say money matters, right? When we talk
Mhm.
about finances, it feels sometimes, well, I can speak from my own experience because I was one of
Mhm.
those students who was like, oh my God, numbers. I don't want to hear anything about that, right? And I did
Oh,
not
yeah.
enjoy my math experience at all. So
Most of
I
us.
went anything except maths, right? I didn't want to have
Mhm.
anything to do with numbers. And lo and behold, I became an accountant. Can you imagine? So when,
Wow.
yeah, I couldn't believe I was heading in that direction. I was like, this has to be
What is
madness.
this?
So when we look at finances, I was one of those persons who, when I came down to it and was real with myself, I was afraid of money. I was
Hmm.
afraid of not just money, but counting it. check it. That was my physical relationship with it, right?
Yes.
I would check it, put it in my wallet. But then when I got a job in school as a part-time cashier, I'm not, and that job when I was at UE, that part-time cashier job, I realized how scared I was of money, right? I had not really acknowledged that before. And could
Mm-hmm.
you speak to us? Because I feel like that is an important relationship to acknowledge. Sometimes our
Mm-hmm.
fear of money, not being able to understand money and how it works, what it is, how important it is to our lives, and to just,
Mm-hmm.
take the bull by the horns and say, listen, I'm going to face my fear. I'm going to get into money. I'm going to count money. I'm going to feel money. I'm going to smell money.
Yes.
I'm going to become money, right? Tell
Yeah.
us about that in terms of money matters, how the fear
Mm-hmm.
of money and the psychology of dealing with
Mm-hmm.
money really hampers us from being prosperous and wealthy,
Um,
if you
it's
can.
it's it's very interesting that you say that because as a coach, that is one of the main things that a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with.
Mhm.
Because even as kids, we are not taught about money. You know what I mean? We're not taught about the importance of money and how we can control our money. We are always left in a position where money is controlling our lives. And I think it's very important for us to have those conversations about money and don't be fearful of the money, but be excited to receive the money because you're in a privileged position to actually be receiving money, whether as an entrepreneur or even if you're working and you're receiving a salary. That is a blessing to you. So I think that starts with a conversation from very young about the importance of money and getting accustomed to, as you say, just handling money, counting money, making sure you understand what a budget is. That is something that a lot of us don't like to do, budgeting our money. Um, and really having a plan for our money. And even as an entrepreneur, that is so very important because you may be receiving a profit from the money, right? And that happens because you don't have a relationship with your money.
Yes.
You haven't budgeted your money. You don't have a plan for the money which you are calling into your business. I think it's important for us to
Mhm.
speak positively about our money. We like to say about, oh gosh, I'm broke. I ain't have no money. We like to say those
More,
negative
more
things,
month than money. Hmm.
right? I live in paycheck to paycheck and all those kind of things. But the thing is,
Yes.
we can change that narrative and we can change the relationship that we have with money, starting with our conversations, starting with budgeting, understanding the importance of savings and investments, understanding how you price stuff, understanding how profit and loss works. And it's,
Hmm.
it's a scary conversation, don't get me wrong. It's uncomfortable,
Yes.
right? But it's about your discipline.
Yes.
And
Many of
once
us
you
think,
get,
yeah,
yeah,
budget, when we hear budget, oh, that's something the government does every year, right?
right.
We're going to listen
No, but
out
that's
for it.
something that
That's
we
not for
have
me.
to do. Yeah, and that's something that we have to have the discipline in
Hmm.
our own lives to budget our money and have a plan for money down to the
Yes.
last cent. I always ask my clients, like, a question like, do you know how much money is in your account right now? The majority of them don't even know, if they
Hmm.
have $200 or if they have $20 because they don't even like to check their account because it,
Well,
it,
let me
it
tell
gives them
you,
an uncomfortable feeling.
today is Friday, and I know a good bit of people getting some money in their account, and some going to be spending a good bit of money from their
Yes,
account today,
yes,
right? They're
yes.
gonna
And
be
it is,
getting a few drinks and all of that. But we're gonna go
yeah,
on a
and the
short
thing
break,
is,
and we're gonna come back with Dixie Ann and Adana Austin talking about money matters, Women's Entrepreneurial Week and the day and all the activities. Stay with us. We'll be back in a few minutes.
the Standard, and today we're launching High. It's our newest brand that Standard is launching, and it's where luxury meets affordability. We're very proud of this brand. It's taken some time to get the right collection in place, and we're also going to continue to improve on our collection as time goes by and we listen to our customers more. We've changed our suppliers for this collection to European suppliers, so you're going to get that European finish. We've been very pleased by some of the results that we've been seeing in terms and response to it in the market, and we're so glad to bring it to Tobago and show Tobago what Standard could, grow with them as well.
It's not just about looking good or having materials that are easily cleaned or sustainable materials, because the important thing about this particular collection is that it is quality. It is meant to last, and it lives up to the Standard name about never beating on quality and price. This furniture particularly, especially our outdoor line, which ranges from fiberglass, plastic types of outdoor stools, outdoor chairs, even the outdoor furniture, it is built to last.
That's the importance with High, right? It's not only looking good, it's going to feature things that make your life easier, and it's not too damaging on the pocket. That's important for us.
This furniture fits the lifestyle of Tobago, of the Tobago customer, of the Tobago guest. It is the perfect type of furniture for you.
Welcome back to Brunch, where we're chatting with two amazing women about a very interesting and noteworthy event and week coming up. We have Adana and Dixie Ann with us, and they're chatting with us this morning about money matters, about women, about entrepreneurship. We're just having a great time. Happy Friday again, ladies. We know these are heavy topics, but we need to discuss them, and we want to discuss them with a level of levity, but also with a level of joy, because it's going to fix a lot of things that we may be experiencing. Tell me about this week, this fintech event that's happening.
Well, it's Femme Fusion Technology. As I said, we focused on these four lovely ladies in technology, inspiring and innovating, bringing out their products and services and what they have to offer, as well as talking about their journey. It's so important as we share our experiences and our life journey, persons can be able to identify with the journey. Because sometimes we might want to step into something, we might be hesitant, we might be apprehensive, because we grew up with we're talking about children with the 80s here now, right?
Okay.
We grew up with our parents telling us, go to school and get a good job, right? But now you're seeing that paradigm shift. So you no longer want to tell kids, go to school and just get a job, but go to school and be the best that you can be, live your potential, whatever that you want to achieve, you aspire to, you dream big, you go for it. And these ladies would be a testament of taking that initiative and following their dreams, following their hearts, and getting into areas that might seem a little bit apprehensive or intimidating. So they're here to tell us about their journey, some of their challenges. As you know, women getting into business, we do experience some challenges. It may be funding, may be gender biases, the different barriers and different things that, that may stop us or be hesitant for us to get ourselves completely immersed into what we want to do. So these ladies would be here to also share their stories and their journey and chat a little bit about their challenges and how they overcome their challenges and how they get to be where they are, and I also want to kind of tag on to a little bit about the financial part. I'll kind of switch hats in and between. As I said, I'm also the communication specialist for the Bankers Association, and we do a lot in terms of financial literacy and education, which is so key and important for women entrepreneurs, as you said earlier, in terms of understanding and appreciating money and how to manage your money. And we do a lot of work in that space. We do a lot of startup programs. We do a lot of financial and business development programs and workshops for women entrepreneurs, for entrepreneurs across the board. And we realized that a lot of entrepreneurs, as Adana was saying, their financials are not really in place. So when you want to go to the bank or any financial institution for funding, your business proposal, your finances are not in order. So these things are so key and important in learning and getting into entrepreneurship, how important it is to educate yourself financially, understanding, as Adana said, about budgeting, savings, investing, how to price your products or your services, so it's so important in terms of, so all of these things we will be eventually rolling out and discussing and bringing that financial education to our entrepreneurs as well. But today, this evening at 6:30, we will be focusing on women in technologies, looking at their journey, inspiration, motivation, how they get there, just sharing their experiences. And that's how we learn, right? We learn from other people's experiences and how we are able to identify with their challenges and using some of their strategies to overcome and to apply for your success.
Yes, that's very correct. And I can't tell you how much I feel that what you're doing here for Women's Entrepreneurship Week is important. It's not just important, it's super important, right?
Yeah.
We cannot be free financially or otherwise if we can't afford to live, right? If we can't afford the life and the lifestyle that we would like, whatever that might be, right? And I feel that a lot of women will benefit from what you all are doing because it will help them overcome some of the obstacles and perhaps even make them think that they can make it too, because, it starts in the mind. This challenge that we have, it really does start in the mind. Overcoming that mental obstacle, that mental barrier that, I don't know if I could do that. That sounds like this fantastic thing other people did, but me, right? I had this little goddaughter and I told her something. She said, like it would be me. That's what they feel when they talk about business, You, who you sending to do the bit, and that is one of the things. No, you miss scared, miss not getting through, miss not making it, ends not meeting, you, right? Single mom, you. And I feel like this is really going to break a lot of barriers for women out there. If you're looking at this interview, contact Adana and Dixie and get into this event they're having this evening and into women's entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is going to give you some freedom and flexibility, but you have to have your financials organized. That's one of the things a lot of times people think, oh, let me first register the business and that's about it. I register the business and then boom, we start to do stuff.
Yeah.
I had somebody come to me, and this is just an example, an anecdote, come to me with, they had hundreds of thousands of dollars they owed in money. And of course, the tax man came to get his part, right? So it just banked up and banked up and banked. So this financial, the finances and your financials that you're talking about, right? Your balance sheet and all of that, it may sound like something, oh God, I don't even know how to start that, but it is something very important to get right from the beginning because it will save you. There are many ways, and a lot of businesses close because they're owing taxes and they have a lot of liabilities on their sheet. They're no longer an ongoing concern, right, Adana? Tell us about how we can get women comfortable to make sure that their finances, those paperwork that they have to present, they're on top
What's
of it.
saying is so true, right? A lot of entrepreneurs feel like once I register my business, and the thing is, starting a business in Trinidad is very low risk. Anybody can start a business, right? And that's the beauty of it, but it's also very risky in the sense that people don't take the precautions that are necessary to make sure that they are protected. So they start their business, they register their business, and that's it. Understanding your finances, understanding why you need to create a business bank account separate from your personal bank account and not commingle your funds, which is illegal in Trinidad and Tobago, right? Not using your personal funds for business expenses and vice versa, right? I think that we need to have those types of conversations a lot more, so people understand exactly how to manage their money when they start to make money. Even something as simple as I have a challenge when I tell entrepreneurs, no matter how much you're making, pay yourself, right? You could pay yourself $20 a week. You could pay yourself $100 a week, but pay yourself because you are also an employee in your business. So get into the habit. Again, it's about creating habits, having that discipline, so that you, as you rightfully say, so that the tax man doesn't come and wipe out your business, so that you can build momentum in your business. As I said, start off paying yourself $20, then $100, and just keep increasing as your business grows. But again, those kind of conversations are not being had when people start their business. It's just about start your business. You have a passion, start the, but it goes so much deeper than any business.
Yes.
I think has to be a core discussion, has to be a core learning for anybody who is interested
Mm-hmm.
in starting and growing a successful business around the world. It doesn't matter. Because the other
Yes.
thing is, because of technology, now we're not just selling in Tobago or in Trinidad. Now we're selling around the world, right? So some of
Yes.
us are receiving US dollars. And all of those things, you have to understand, how do you receive payments? How do you separate
Mm-hmm.
certain things? You know what I mean? How do you make sure you put aside money for your annual returns that you pay every year or your
Yes.
taxes that you pay every quarter?
Mm.
Those are the conversations that are not being had.
You,
And people are just
I,
running their businesses.
I have to say, you hit so many nails on the head with that, right? I mean, these are
Hmm.
such important conversations. Dixie Ann, I want to talk to you a minute about, because it ties into what Adana was just saying and what you said earlier about policies, right? The thing about it is that while we're encouraging people to have these conversations more and more, the fact of the matter is that as an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur myself, so I can speak from experience when we talk about what Adana was mentioning, when we talk about how do we get paid. If we're selling to the overseas markets, if we're selling abroad, we're selling outside of the Caribbean, how do we get paid? And that comes now down to what the banking system is doing, what the financial system is doing, the policies that the authorities adopt, and even for FATCA, right? I'm using a word that we're not going to get into, but that is something very serious when we talk about how we're getting paid, how people open bank accounts, how the system works. And that is something that the authorities have to sort out, because even with let us use WePay, right? WePay is something local where you can get paid to a local bank account. But if you got paid overseas and the person wasn't using a credit card, what is the system that's compatible with our local system? And that's one of the things I would like you, if you can, Dixie, and especially as one of the communications persons with the Bankers Association, could you just give us an insight into how, as entrepreneurs, can we traverse this very important conversation about money when we need to get paid for the business, when we can't get paid to our local banks, right? What are we doing with that, Dixie? Please.
Well, I wouldn't be able to specifically speak, but because I know each bank has its
I'm not
own
hearing you, Dixie. Uh-huh.
policy and how they operate, right? But what I do know is that the financial system or the financial institutions across the board, especially banks, would have been making a lot of strides in terms of creating avenues and systems, especially with the use of technology, to work with entrepreneurs to be able to facilitate their growth in their business. So a lot of the banks are doing a lot in this space. So what I would really advise is for entrepreneurs to seek out whichever bank that you are with and find out and get information, because a lot of them have SME departments that is specifically targeted to the growth and the development of SMEs. So I know for sure JMB and a lot of them, they do have units within the banking system that is geared towards specifically helping and assisting the growth of SMEs. So I think there are a lot of products and services that are available right now. And as I said, they are doing a lot in this space to help and assist with SMEs. So I would advise that they seek out your bank to find out what are available for my business, or how can I tap into whatever services and products that you have in order for me to really realize and operate my business successfully.
Yes, I would agree with that. Find out what your opportunities and your possibilities are. And
Yes.
ladies, those who are, in across the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, you're looking on, don't just stick to the banks. Remember, you have credit unions, you have
Right.
NEDCO, you have a lot of government agencies, you have, the agriculture sector has their own little institution. We do have a lot happening. So don't just go to the bank, don't just do that, because sometimes they have some high rates. Go to your credit union, your local credit unions as well, right? Don't just look at the big ones. Go to your credit union, go to, institutions like NEDCO, and see what support they have for small businesses. And every island would have something different. Ladies, I want to thank you all for being here with us today. Before we head out, is there anything you want to leave with us for our brave women out there to get into entrepreneurship, take that deep dive and make that money, right? Live that Kim Kardashian lifestyle.
Well, I would say live your
But
dream.
yeah,
Don't hesitate. I mean, as you said, it's a mental thing. We always have this mental block and we hesitate. Would I succeed? But I know sometimes people also are afraid of success. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say jump in there, find yourself in a network, connect with persons who would be able to help you and guide you in the process. You don't have to do it alone. There's so many entities and associations. AFET, we do Adana's marketing company. There's so many institutions around that can help you in your process and in your journey, and connect, network, and yeah, go for it, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that. Ask for help. You would not know everything. You're not expected to know everything. None of us do. If you recognize that you are struggling in some area, whether it's the financial area, the business planning, if you are struggling, ask for help, seek help. The one thing I about Trinidad and Tobago is that we have a lot of resources out there for help. We have a lot of free resources that I think a lot of people are not taking advantage of. The Dixians, they have a lot of resources for SMEs. And, I think you should take full advantage of those resources. I have a group of over 4,000 entrepreneurs across the Caribbean. It's called Dynamic Business Strategists. And again, it's a free group on Facebook, and we spend the day talking about business. We share tools, we share resources, we really support each other on our journeys, we collaborate, we network. So get the help, get the mentorship, seek out the information that you need, and don't feel you need to sit down and struggle, because you can't do it alone. None of us could do this thing alone. We all need help at some point in time. So get the help that you need.
And I just want to say that We Do movement is a global movement. We're in over 144 countries. We have a growing global legion of 333 global ambassadors. So we really want to bring that international network and resource to Trinidad and Tobago to assist women entrepreneurs. So look out for us. We do TT and connect with us, and we will help you on your journey.
I love that. Entrepreneurship through grace, right? We're not expected to know
Yes.
everything, right? Ladies,
No.
before y'all go, just quickly tell them how we can get into this event that's happening, this virtual event. Where can we find the link to be part of that?
Adana, go ahead.
Well, we actually been sharing the link all over social media. So you can find it all over social media. I've been sharing it in my group. I've been sharing it on Instagram. As I said, it's this afternoon at 6:30. We'll also share the link with you if you want to share it with your audience so that they can sign up for this discussion later. Today, we've been sending out emails, so it's really everywhere. All our speakers have also been sharing it with their communities and stuff, but you will definitely see it across all social media platforms because we've been sharing it all of this week and more. But we'll share it with you all as well.
Fantastic.
687-2022. For those who may be having problems, 687-2022, and we're happy to get the link onto you.
Thank you so much, ladies, for being here and for that information. Important work that's happening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. That's all I can say.
Thank you very much for having us.
It's going to
Thank
be an
you.
amazing
Thank you for
weekend.
having us.
Enjoy it.
Yes, enjoy it. Thank you.
We had two amazing ladies there interviewed just about women entrepreneurship, and we have Men International Days coming up on the 19th. We had men in the studio yesterday, and we have women here today talking to us about money matters and money matters for Women Entrepreneurship Week. We're heading into the Tobago trivia question. I laughed because we got an answer yesterday, but we didn't get an answer before, and we want to keep that trend going. What is the trivia question for today? Our Tobago trivia question is, the provision dashing is known by another name. What is it? The provision dashing is known by another name. What is it? People go in the Googler, type it in, ask a friend, ask a neighbor, ask somebody. Give us an answer today, please. We would love to know what you know about the other name that dashing goes by. And we're into another break. We'll see you back in the next few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
But this place is boring enough. We don't even do nothing. Let me go somewhere now.
I really want some new things, yes? Then look no further. Portmore is the place for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can have anything that your heart desires. Take a look for yourselves. A world of endless opportunities. Feeling hungry? Go get something to eat. Books and stationeries, games, and much more. Portmore, the island's beat.
Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level. The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorns Place with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorns Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Welcome back to brunch, that time of day where we're having a little fun, we're a little relaxed. We don't know if it's breakfast, lunch, what we're doing. We're just having a good time. And we're here this morning with Latoya Jofield. She's a cosmetologist and she has her own business, another female entrepreneur. I tell you, this space is budding with greatness, right? And welcome, Latoya.
Hi.
Hi, it's lovely to have you with us today.
Yes, thank you.
So, Latoya, when we talk about your business, you know, Latoya's Cosmetology Boutique, where is it? Let's first start with, where is your business?
It's located right in the center of Scarborough,
Yes.
Port Mall, 14B, top floor.
Very good. So wait, I could come across and get something to later.
Yeah, you're always welcomed.
Very good. So your business is something that you started personally, or is it something, maybe a family, something? Tell me about your business.
Actually, I loved beauty since I was small. Since I'm primary school, I can't exactly remember which year, but I know I just like looking beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love seeing other people looking beautiful as well.
Oh, yes, I love that. So you decided to start a business with that?
Yeah,
When did you
eventually
start
I
that?
started in high school, but officially I started in 2019.
Okay, what high school is this?
Signal Hill Secondary.
Oh, very nice. Very entrepreneur. Let me tell you, that is enterprising. You could start your business in high school. You don't have to wait.
Exactly.
We had some ladies earlier talking, and we were discussing how entrepreneurs are getting younger and younger. It used to be that entrepreneurship was something for old people, but entrepreneurship is for everybody.
No, it's not.
Yes.
I actually started. I did sixth form and had my business. School normally over like 2:45, 3 o'clock is my first appointment. I finish around 7 o'clock. So that's just how the hustle was in high school.
God, that is amazing. So
Yeah.
how did you feel? I mean, because a lot of times you're in school and you're inundated with schoolwork and what's happening. How did you balance schoolwork and being an entrepreneur?
It was actually tough.
Yes.
But to me, nails used to give me a reliever. Sixth form wasn't tough. Was tough, sorry.
Yes.
So I needed it. I needed the appointments.
Listen, girl, I feel you. I did sixth form, and my God, the amount of work, that uptake from form 5 to form 6, it's a big gap.
It is.
Yeah, so you really have to push. So I commend you for being able to do sixth form, do your subjects, and still have your business. That's an important thing about entrepreneurship, being able to balance. And you learned that from a very young age.
From very young, yeah.
So what about your family support? What did your family think of what you were doing?
My mom always supported me. You know, when you start off nails, it's not perfect.
Yes.
So she'll be walking around, people asking her, who do the nails? And she showing them, but the nails high, you know, the acrylics high.
So wait, she was your mannequin?
Yeah, she was my mannequin, and she loved nothing. She loved it. She loved it, and till this day, she supports me in everything.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really nice to be able to have support for your business from family. And what about your friends and your classmates?
Yeah, my friends do support me.
Yes.
Especially my clients. My clients have become friends.
Yes.
Basically.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So when you have your business set up, tell us, how did that happen? How did it start? Did you just start because you told me you started before you started, right? So tell me about that.
So I actually started, my grandmother has a laundromat, and I started in the corner of a laundromat.
Oh.
My stuff will actually be on a glass case,
Yes.
a little table, and I used to do nails there. But then eventually my clients started to get really huge, and I was like, Latoya, we need to find a space.
Yes.
And then I walked around Scarborough and I saw Port Mall building. I think it was 2018, 2019. Port Mall was building. I was like, no, I need to get to the owner. And I started talking with him, and then I opened my business in 2019 briefly.
I love that you put that in, because
Yeah.
let me tell you, entrepreneurship, and this is not to scare anybody. We want you all to get into entrepreneurship. It is not for everybody, but it is something for the brave of heart, and it's very rewarding. Would you recommend entrepreneurship to other young women, probably even still at school? Would you recommend them do the same thing you did? Not cosmetology, but entrepreneurship.
I definitely would encourage you to start it in school. Then when you finish school, you know what it's for you.
Yes.
You know, the process of high school is finding yourself or finding your career. It's all about balancing schoolwork too and your future.
Yes.
So I definitely encourage young persons, please.
And is this only for women? Your
No.
cosmetology field, is this only for women to get into, you know, that beauty industry? Tell us.
No, it's actually not. It's actually for males also. And I always say males does cosmetology a little better than a woman.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Don't tell them that. Toya. You
Okay.
keep it as a secret.
Oh gosh, I will.
No, but it's true. I'm finding, you know, overseas, you see a lot of men into cosmetology. But the Caribbean is a bit different. Men tend to shy away from that because, you know, there's a stigma attached if a guy goes into that. What would you say to a man who wants to get into the cosmetology field in the Caribbean, in Tobago?
If you love it, do it. Don't study nobody.
Yeah, I like that. Don't say, you got some good advice there.
Yeah.
Don't study nobody, right? You get into it if you love it.
Exactly.
Because it's hard work.
Exactly. And it's lucrative.
Yes. All right, guys. It's hard work, but it's lucrative.
Exactly.
Tell us we don't want to know your financial business, right? But tell us from a financial standpoint for an entrepreneur, what advice would you give an entrepreneur in terms of how to set up their finances or how to go about setting up their business financially? What advice would you give our entrepreneurs?
My advice, do not spend your profit.
When I started
off, it was really difficult not spending your profit. So I try not to spend my profit. Every time I finish work, I try to go in the bank and deposit.
Yes.
Because if you don't see all that money, you just want to spend it.
You see? And you need to keep account of what's coming in and what's going out, not just only what's coming in.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what do you use to keep track of your finances? Is there a software you use or you just do your accounts by the books?
So I normally use a booking app and it includes that also.
Right.
So it shows me like how much income I make, how much I can put aside, how much I put aside for different stuff, and when to go into bank.
Right. So when you say put aside for different stuff, and this is information for all entrepreneurs, because a lot of entrepreneurs they have to have stock, they have to have raw materials and all of that. So when you say put aside, are you talking about putting aside for restocking, or are you talking about putting aside for investment?
For investment, restocking, miscellaneous, for expenses, your personal expenses, everything I ensure, I try to put in each section.
Yes.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurs, you're hearing that. Yeah. Don't spend your profit. Listen, you're getting some wise advice beyond this young lady's age, you know. Don't spend your profit, right? And make sure you put aside your money. Okay, and go to the bank, drop it off in the bank so that you won't spend it.
Exactly.
If you have all that money in your wallet, you're definitely going to. I know I would like a roti this evening. I'm a curry lover, so I definitely would be stand up in front of the embassy or down by Rena's or one of these people trying to spend out all my money for how much rotis I can get. But yeah, you're saying be wise with your money.
Exactly.
Don't just, frivolously as you make the money. Because you're not gonna be able to have your business continue for a long time. How long has your business been? How many years has your business been going on? Registered?
My business have been registered in 2019, so that's an average of 5 years. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when is your anniversary of your business?
May 6th.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
So you have specials coming up next year, May.
Yeah.
I'm coming to get my nails done. Yeah. So when you talk about your business, because I'm so proud, one, you're a female, right? In business, young, doing it. When you talk about cosmetology, tell us what that is. It's a big word. It sounds nice. But really and truly, what's cosmetology?
I always say cosmetology is everything beauty. I keep it simple like that. Everything beauty. From head to toe. We're not missing anything.
Okay. So what is your business, your cosmetology boutique? What do you focus on in your business?
So most of my clients are nails, but I've started during the years, during the COVID till now, I've started trying to expand my services. So I added facials, chemical peels, pedicures, brow laminations, lash extensions. Yeah.
That's a lot of things. But you know, that's something that I would be coming across. I feel like I could do it a good facial. Yeah. Tell me, like, okay, a facial is nice, but what's the benefits of a facial? What does it actually do?
It actually gives your face a glow. Everybody have different problems with their face, so we focus on each person's problems.
Okay.
But my main goal is to ensure your skin is clean as possible, not only outside but inside.
Right.
So I also give like health advice, and yeah.
Okay. So what if somebody was doing a facial at home? They're just trying a little something. What products, if any, that would be in your kitchen or close at hand that they could use?
There are plenty good brands. You can start off with drugstore products. I should say. I wouldn't give like specific brands because not everybody agrees with with certain brands in the drugstore. But what you can do is continue try out different products and see if it works. But drugstore products can work for the facials. If you're trying to do an at-home facial, or let's say or facial routine or daily facial routine, I should say.
What would be a great daily facial routine for somebody?
Wash, moisturizer, sunscreen.
Right.
Also tone.
So wash, what order? I'm taking notes.
So you're washing, you're toning, you're moisturizing, and ensure to put on your sunscreen 10 minutes before you go into the sun.
Okay, so let me ask this. For that process you just explained, if a person was to use moisturizer, how often do I need to re-moisturize my face during the day or redo this process? Is it like a morning, evening kind of thing, or I could do it during the day?
You can do it, depends on if your skin oily or it's up to you. But I normally, seeing that I'm a busy person, I normally wash my face morning and night.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't really get time during the day. But once you have a good routine in the morning, it's supposed to carry you throughout the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Does it help with breakouts?
Yes, it does.
This routine that you're talking about? So it can help you manage your acne. Is there any products that you have or that you use that helps with that? Because, you know, a lot of people have acne problems.
So my main thing is drinking water.
Right.
Drinking water and changing your diet. Because that's the main reason why we get acne. The things we consume, it breaks out our face. Sometimes our hair, the oils in our hair, it breaks out our face. So it focuses on different things. But the main thing, ensure to wash your face and moisturize.
I like that. Listen, she's not giving you any products to buy. Go and drink water. What, government juice?
Yeah.
Drink a very large cup of government juice. Well, the way the government juice going right now, you might have to actually buy the water.
Really?
Yeah. But stay hydrated, guys, and it's gonna help because this temperature that we experience, the sun is something else.
Exactly.
So stay hydrated. You heard it from Natoya Jofield. She owns Natoya
Cosmetology
Boutique right here in the Port Mall. So if you want to come and get a process done, a procedure done, your hair, your nails, okay, not your hair, your nails, your face, right? I'm obsessed with hair. So she'll be here in the Port Mall hooking you up. Thank you very much for being with us
You're
here today,
welcome.
Natoya. And all the best in your business.
Thank you.
I'm expecting in the next few years that you have branches.
Of course.
Right? We are expecting to hear from Natoya. She has branches in Trinidad and Tobago all over the place, right?
Yeah.
So good luck to you and thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you.
So let me again tell the wonderful viewers about our trivia question because I want an answer again today. Tell us what the trivia question is, please. Okay, Tobago trivia question. The provision dasheen is known by another name. What is it? Again, the provision dasheen is known by another name. What is it? And go in, I don't want to hear, we don't know. Go in the Googler, that's what the teacher used to tell you, right? Go in the Googler, type it in, and if the Googler doesn't give you the answer, go and ask granny, grandpa, uncle, nene, tanti. Ask somebody and give us the answer, right? We'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. And we chatted today with Natoya Jofield about her cosmetology business. And we want to encourage you, take good care of yourself as we head out. Come back to us in a few minutes.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
You know, who would I ever believe, Jessica could take care of a child,
I know, right? I'm a kinship foster parent to my nephew Malik.
Papa, you remind me of my grandmother, you know, when she used to take care of my cousins.
If I didn't step in, I don't know where he would have ended up. Plus, I get support from Children's Authority, training, and counseling.
But Jessica, you're not married?
That doesn't matter. Once you have a safe home and you're related to the child, you're good.
So they just gave money to do this?
Yeah, they do give me some money.
So, Auntie, you can buy all I gave you for me?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Malik, but that money's to take care of you. Okay, smubble up, yes.
I will not try. Mommy, you can buy.
No.
Wait, I didn't even finish my sentence.
About Lamborghini, you can get lamb stew for lunch.
Auntie Jessica could only come when you come in, because all them does do is talk people business.
Malakaya Malikole going on the bed.
But Mommy, the boy don't even live here.
Yeah, go to your bunkers.
What? Bunkers? Where's that?
I think I'm getting pretty good at this.
Welcome back to Brunch, the show where we talk about all different things to all different people. All genres of conversations are had here on Brunch. Just like when you have breakfast and lunch together, you get all different kind of options, right? That's what we do here. Very relaxed, very, very enjoyable conversations with persons who are doing the damn thing right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And we want to thank you and tell you, we celebrate you, not just women and men, but children. We're also celebrating young people who are doing things great things across Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean. And we welcome today with us Mr. Fawn. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I am well. Haven't seen you in a while. I am only holding on for J Soul, right? So don't look out for me. Don't look out for me after that. I just helping out, right? But it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too. It's good to see you too.
How is the weather where you are?
What to say? It was raining so something fierce, and my children were off of school yesterday, and they were off because they said there was too much rain, and I am like, where am I? That too much rain is going to stop school. I thought cricket was the only thing that rain stopped, but it
Some real
seems
Caribbean children. As soon as rain started fall, listen, we can't function anymore. That's
I
it.
know.
Pass
Well,
it
no,
on.
it's the school said they can't function and kept them home.
I like
So
that
I was
too.
shocked. It was a county-wide. It was a county-wide mandate that no school because of too much. It was severe weather. It really was severe, but I mean,
Oh wow.
that
Well, you'll take care
people.
of yourself. Stay dry. You're here to talk to us about today in history, bringing us
Yeah.
some information, please.
So today is November 17th, right? And on November 17th, 1888, Queen Victoria. Now, let's remember who Queen Victoria is, right? Queen Victoria is, when you talk about the Victorian era, this is who you're talking about, right? With those dresses with the tight waist and the the lower area, the wider puffed out lower area. That is Victorian era. That's who we're talking about, right? So Queen Victoria, who was also called the Empress of India after, of course, Britain had conquered India, had all these colonies all around the world. But at this time in 1888, many of them were failing, right? Failing miserably, failing from an economic standpoint, failing politically. It really was just not working out very well for many of the colonies. And Tobago, unfortunately, fell in that category. And the decision was made to join Tobago to Trinidad. And on this day, 144 years ago, is when she would have signed that something called the Order in Council, which in essence made that happen. That is the document that made the union happen. Now, it wouldn't actually take effect until January 1st, 1889, right? The following year. But this document is really the document that sealed the deal in terms of the union. And I always find it interesting that we being not Trinidadians, not Tobagonians, do not celebrate this union at all. We don't really. I can't remember any time in my life in Tobago there ever being a celebration of Union Day, which would have been January 1st, 1889, and certainly no celebration of this Order of Council. It's almost as if we're not happy in the union, because I don't know anybody would be married for 144 years and not celebrate it, right?
It could be who married you, right? That's like the problem right there.
Oh, I love that. So you have a problem with who married you?
No, that might be it, right? Because we threw off the colonial, overtures and the colonial masters, and we now got, we're now independent. They may not want to remember how we ended up here, right? We don't want to acknowledge them. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there.
I love that. But I really wanted to draw people's attention to kind of what really happened coming down the line to kind of get us into the position of having to be joined with another island, right? So Tobago really was kind of late to the plantation game, right? And a lot of Britain's attention was focused on Barbados, and other colonies that were existing under the colonial rule for much longer than Tobago. So we were still relatively late to the game, right? But when they did come, because of course our soil was so virgin and so enriched, our production was was competitive. It was competitive with many of the other colonies. But then you had that enslaved man Sandy. That enslaved man Sandy, say he was fresh off the boat, just came from Africa, and when he saw what happening in Tobago, he said, "Not for me, not for me." So he led the first slave revolt in about 1770, I think, right? And so that is kind of what started Tobago down on a particular path, either whether you say it's for good or for bad, right? In that, so this slave revolt happens. There are 20 of the planters who are killed, or well, not necessarily the planters, but 20 of the white population of Tobago are killed, right? Only about 5 enslaved persons are killed. By and large, it was a successful slave revolt for a number of reasons, but chiefly for 2. One is that Sandy was never caught. But because his legend grew so large and wide, it led to many more slave revolts on Tobago. And there were at least like in 1771, 1774, many of these other slave revolts happened because of the legend of Sandy. He was never caught, so people would talk about, this Sandy man who, led us to rebellion. And because of these rebellions that happened after Sandy, what happened then is that many British companies would not extend credit to Tobago planters because they saw Tobago as a huge risk, because you would lose your money because the slaves would revolt. They would not be peaceable and go quietly and till the soil, right? So it was, Sandy, for by and large, really is who let people know that, hey, don't take this, stand up for yourselves, and it really had a lot of impact. So that's where you first see Tobago economy kind of getting shaky, because planters would not get extended any kind of credit, and new planters would not come to settle in Tobago, right? Because
I want to interrupt you and ask you something.
Sure.
Something trying to choke me here, girl. If we go back a little bit, right? Wasn't Tobago joined to Grenada at a point in time?
Tobago was
how
actually...
we end up there, and how we end up now Trinidad and Tobago. Just curious. From Grenada and Tobago, and look where Grenada is, look how far.
Well, first you need to know that there really was no rhyme or reason when the colonialists were joining so they weren't saying to this, at one point there was even talks of joining us to Jamaica, so
oh, wow.
Even talks of depopulating the entire island, yet taking everybody off of the island of Tobago, and just island for recreation.
What these people around Bowl, what they plan to do with the Amerindians who they come and meet here? Hello.
Well, listen, by the time the British really decided to colonize Tobago, which was like in the 1760s, let me say, there was only like one Amerindian family or Taino family here, right? And
they chase them out, and then they put them on a reservation. They have killed them out anyway.
They didn't have kill them out, and they were concentrated in Signal Hill. Actually, they were concentrated in Signal Hill. So there was no rhyme or reason. So when we were attached to Grenada, attached to Barbados, like we were the truth of the matter is that a lot of these colonial powers did not know what to do with Tobago. Tobago was really a pawn, right? We'd like to think that it was because we're so, we're just so strategic where we are, and we have this rich soil and stuff. We were really a pawn, because remember what's happening in 1776. America is dissenting and telling Britain, we don't want no taxation without representation.
Yeah.
And so the French are like, I see an opportunity here. Let me see if I can, not only will I support Not only will I support the Americans in their fight for freedom, but I'm going to try to pluck off some of the islands that England have in the Caribbean while I'm here. So
Yes.
Tobago is one of those islands. So we see the French coming in for a 12-year period in the late 1700s after the American Revolution. We see
Yes.
Tobago suffered under French rule. They were not interested in developing the island. There was a lot of confusion, and I'm not making this up. I'm talking after Dr. Rita Pemberton. She has an article in the Newsday that really exposes how Tobago was administrated to get us to the point of having to be joined with Trinidad.
Yes.
She talked
Well, let me tell you, France has a very poor reputation, right? France does, for how they managed their colonies. And Haiti is a prime example of how they manage their colonies and what they did to Haiti, right? Remember, they made Haiti pay a whole barrel full of money, take away all the people pittance just for them to become independent. France, they did not have a good reputation as a colonizer, and they still don't.
Well, I don't know any colonizer that has a good reputation.
No, but they had the worst.
They did. And
well, then they're still Belgium. They're still Belgium. Let's leave some space for them with the one-hand policy, right? Because people hand one.
Listen, I think people don't have a grasp of exactly how detrimental and how violent slavery was, especially in Haiti. The number of Africans who went to Haiti and the number of Africans who survived, your lifespan, if once you got to Haiti, your lifespan was 5 years.
Please,
5
tell
years.
them.
That's how you worked. That is how hard you were worked. 5 years, and that was it. You were dead in 5 years. So,
because they
I
did
don't
not
think
work you with the idea that you would be an asset. They worked you to kill you. That was their policy, right?
To death. So, you are right when and some of the most, meanest and most vile punishments came out of French colonization, over and above that of England or Portugal or Spain, so I really, so I think that people don't have that sense. I think people think that, like, slavery was like this thing where you're sold into slavery and you get to live to 100, you just have to toil the land. Like, no, you weren't living to 100. Once you got there, once you got to Haiti particularly, you were gone in 5 years. It was really a brutal process, a brutal system inflicted. But so so there's a lot.
They weren't looking for assets. They were just taking you to kill you. It's like those people who buy clothes or cars and drive them to death, right? They're not looking for longevity. I want to keep this car for the next 40 years. I'm just gonna drive this into the ground. That's what they were doing with them.
Yeah, so it really is, the thing about Tobago history in particular that I really, why I enjoy it is because I'm telling you, some of the same mistakes that we're making today as Tobagonians, we made 100 years ago, we made 150 years ago. We're making the same mistake. In my mind, I find Tobago history so fascinating, and that every Trinbagonian should really be studying Tobago history, because it gives, it enlightens us, and it feeds into how we should kind of be approaching many of the problems that we're facing. Almost none of the problems that we are facing in Tobago today are new. None.
No.
Not one.
And so
my question is, when are we gonna learn? When are we gonna
even from the Amerindians, when we looked at how they traveled between Trinidad and Tobago to bring goods and services, it was an onerous journey as well. I mean, and we're still dealing with how are we transporting goods. I mean, you cannot escape, right, the patterns that we are seeing. You really can't escape it.
Yeah, and it's so funny. Last night, my son turned to me and he's like, "Mommy, I don't understand why we can't drive from Trinidad to Tobago." And I say, "Boy, maybe one day you go build that bridge. Maybe one day you will build that bridge." But yeah, so there's a lot happening in Tobago.
I like your son, because I told somebody the other day, why don't we have a bridge to Trinidad and Tobago? Like, why isn't there a tunnel or bridge or something? What's up with that? And they say for them not to come to Tobago and buy nothing. They will come with a car full of stuff.
Oh my God.
They get on a boat and they bring everything down to ice. They will come and don't buy anything at all. I said, why you all like that? Why you had to be like that?
But you see, that is also not our fault. Remember, Tobago was a colony in and of herself, right? She was a functioning, for all intents and purposes, a functioning country, right? So even when you read the order in council that was signed by Queen Victoria, it's written in a way that looks, it feels as though Tobago is giving up a lot. Remember, Tobago had its own Supreme Court. Tobago is assessing its own customs and excise duties. Tobago has its own thing happening. So in the order in council, you'll see the Supreme Court of Tobago ceases to be. The Supreme Court of Trinidad ceases to be, Just the Supreme Court of Tobago ceases to be. And the Court of Trinidad, the Supreme Court of Trinidad, is now to be styled as the Supreme Court of Trinidad and Tobago. That's all that happened. So Tobago really kind of had to give up a lot in order to enter this union. Because could you imagine that you're getting married to somebody and it's now you have to leave your clothes by the door. You have a car? No, you had to leave the car. The car had to stay there. So it wasn't just...
You're saying it like it don't happen still to some people. You're saying it like it don't happen still to some people. What they get... You don't want to dig into people's culture, but you're going to live by your in-laws. Where are you going to carry that on?
Well, right.
So no, it happens. We know it. Mm-hmm.
So now we have to figure out, kind of how we're going to do this thing forward, because we're only as strong as our weakest link. Trinbagonians, we are only as strong as our weakest link. And I think sometimes that I listen to so many of the different sides speak, and, you'd hear some people tell it, Tobago is doing excellent, we are fine, everything is okay. And then, of course, I hear others say it is like, the sky is falling, we are doomed, it's this,
so, you don't know which one. Chicken Little is happening. Yeah.
Exactly. But I have to believe in the resiliency of Tobago people, and I have to believe in the empathy of Trinidadian and Trinbagonian peoples, right? We have to believe in the good of that. And I really do not think that we are going to start to see real, true economic prosperity, real, true political prosperity until we find a way to work with each other. We have to find a way to do it, because any other way is really not, it's not, okay, we've been bickering at this for 144 years now. Because there were many times in history where Tobago tried to get out of the arrangement between Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Yes.
As early as 10 years, within 10 years of them being in a union.
You see, what they call the 7-year itch happened at 10 years, they tried to get a divorce, right? They decided, I had enough of this.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And you know who was pushing it? Not because it wasn't Tobagonians, like when I say Tobagonians, African-born Tobagonians, or Tobagonians whose generation came through slavery, It was the planters who wanted to get out of the situation.
I know. Because it was bad for them. It really was bad.
Yes,
right? They were able to have some autonomy on the island, and that agreement really put an end to that. So they had to wait for Trinidad, or those who were operating Trinidad, to tell them when, how, what, and with whom. And they were not interested in that.
And listen, and let me tell you, and all out there, right? It was not easy. There were so many growing pains. Imagine you are a pharmacist, right? Imagine you're a pharmacist. You have been, getting your pharmacist, you have been operating without a pharmacist license, all right? Let's say, right? Okay, or getting your pharmacist license directly from England. Now they're telling you, you have to go by some means, get to Trinidad to take an exam. Meantime, pharmacists in Trinidad don't sending to you to find out how to concoct different medicine and all kind of thing. You very elite in your field. And now you have to find a way to get to Trinidad to get to some exam. When you go, they say, "Oh, sorry, we ain't taking the exam today. The exam going to be another day," and all kind of thing. And
We're out of time. They're gonna cut me off here, girl. But let me tell you, this is such an interesting conversation. I'm so happy that you were able to be here with us today. This is something that you've been doing with Tobago Updates for so many years, you know, and it's so lovely to have you on a Friday. I thank God it's Friday, just to chill and talk about history, heritage, looking at Tobago's Caribbean history, and as a union, you know, what's happening, because we're going into some exciting times, and we need to know what we came out of and where we'll be going. We need to know those things. So thank you for that, Devon. It was lovely having you.
No, thank you for having me.
We're heading into our trivia, guys, our Tobago trivia question. I just disappeared here for a second. Okay, so the provision dasheen is known by another name. What is it? The provision dasheen is known by another name. What is it? And as I keep telling you all, go check the Googler. We want an answer. Tell us what the other name for dasheen is. Yesterday, we had a winner. Congratulations, Elizabeth. But today, well, Elizabeth, if you want to give us the answer again, we don't mind, huh? But go and look in the Googler, people, and give us the answer to that question. We'll see you in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
But this place is boring enough. We don't even do nothing. Let me go somewhere now.
I really want some new things, yes? Poof. Then look no further. Portmore is the place for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can have anything that your heart desires. Take a look for yourselves. A world of endless opportunities. Feeling hungry? Go get something to eat. Books and stationeries, games, and much more. Portmore, the island's beat.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Welcome back, viewers across Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean. Thank you for being here with us today. at Brunch, where we talked to all different genres of art, interests, books. Let me tell you, we talk to all sorts of persons here in terms of what they're doing in the Trinidad and Tobago space. And with us here today, we have an artist, a cultural enthusiast, and an art lover. We have Jared Balfour here with us today. Welcome, Jared.
Hi, good morning.
It's lovely to have you here with us on this wonderful Friday.
Yes.
Right, the
yes.
start of the weekend.
Correct.
So how has the week been treating you?
This week was a fairly okay week. I didn't get everything that I set out to do this week done, but you give thanks for life.
Yes.
And we keep moving forward.
Well, that's how
despite-
it goes sometimes,
Yes,
right? You don't
yes.
always get to do everything.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
sometimes you have some ups, some downs, but we balance it out.
And we keep going forward.
That's right. I love your attitude.
Yeah.
Very positive. So, Jared, we want to talk about you as an artist. What is your preferred genre as an artist?
Well, I don't really have a preferred genre. I like all types of music. Sometimes it could just be no instrumental at all. It could be a vocalist singing a melody line. I am captivated by melody lines and good lyrics. Yeah, so we find good melodies and good lyrics in all different types of songs.
Yes.
So I don't really have a favorite genre, but if I'm to really say favorite genre, I would say soca.
Right. Well, I like him. we love some good soca. Yeah. Well, that's
I
our
would say
thing,
soca,
right?
And of course, it's what we represent and what represents us. So I would say soca.
So for Carnival, you're saying for Carnival you put out music.
Yeah.
Specifically as a soca artist.
Yes.
How do you find that experience? Because we just had Tobago Carnival earlier in the year. We had Trinidad and Tobago Carnival. How do you feel about that that addition for the Tobago Carnival as opposed to just having one carnival for the year? And how did that affect artists like yourself?
Yeah, I think it's a good move for us to have our own identity, where in terms of carnival and mass, because it's a twin island republic, but we are two different people. Yeah, we are two different culture. So I think it's an opportunity for us to showcase our side of the country. In terms of being an artist, it is also an advantage for artists because it's more of a start and finish Trinidad and Tobago have. We have Trinidad starting the carnival and Tobago ending.
I like that perspective.
All carnivals, yeah? So it's, beginning and end. So while it's an opportunity for us to produce music and release it for our carnival, that will be flow straight into the national carnival, which is next year. So it's our advantage, actually.
I like that perspective, and I'll tell you why. Because it's the last carnival of the year.
In
so
the
you
whole
went to,
world.
you went to everybody's carnival. Because I have this dream. I'm on a cruise. I'm going to every island for the carnival, right?
Yeah.
And you make the whole rounds, and then you come back to Tobago. You finish with the Tobago carnival, and then you relax and you sleep it off and you
get ready
recuperate.
Get ready for
Well, you
the
heard it.
national carnival.
Jared say you get ready for the next carnival, national carnival, Trinidad and Tobago. So you come, have your carnival here, last carnival for the year, and reset.
Relax a little bit. Yes, reset. And then we go again.
And start again, fresh, as the
Yes.
Bajans will say. We start fresh. I like that.
Yeah.
So when you say, Tobago Carnival is giving an added opportunity for artists, especially like yourself, who are doing music, right? Is it that, because my perspective is that the creative industry, right, that orange economy, isn't fully supported, right?
Correct.
More so probably in certain spaces, but still not supported enough because they see the creative industry as, a little flim-fammy, a little wishy-washy. We can't put our hand exactly on it, and say what it is. So what is your perspective about the creative industry and the support that you have in Trinidad and Tobago?
All right, so I will talk for our island where we reside, which is Tobago, because I think it's different in Trinidad.
Okay.
Somewhat different. I think our problem in Tobago is we don't believe. And if you look at the history of Tobago, we have never had anybody that we actually lift up and say, here's what, this is we are actually supporting this person and see this person grow. I've never seen anybody grown from the island itself, especially as an artist.
Yes.
You know, and I think that has a lot to do with the thinking of the people. You know, it's a very small place, we know that, but if we look at Grenada and St. Lucia and other small islands, we see that they are very much patriotic. They have a sense of pride in anybody that supports the island.
Yes.
You know, I think we need to break that cycle of what we just call it now, fight down. It's more of a, I know he can't make it. I can't support you. I know you either see he every day.
Yes.
You know, so it's like they lose respect, or they never gain the respect because they might see you every day, or they might, you know, they will respect you if you're away from here.
Yes.
And I've had experiences where prominent artists told me, boy, why you leave Tobago? Leave Tobago. Everybody keep telling me that, leave Tobago. But we live in a technological world right now. Most things is digitalized. And I don't see the need to leave Tobago because you could speak to somebody in Egypt from right here.
You're right.
You know, so I think it's the mentality of the persons that need to change. And that's the only way the music going to go forward. And also, people within the authority, people who have power to drive change or to initiate change, they too need to realize that they have a purpose to play. They have a purpose here. And if we don't cherish what we already have, 35, 40, 50 years from now, we will have no history.
Yeah.
The youths that is to come will not know of us because we are not documenting, we are not, there's no statue of Calypso Rose, no street, no nothing.
That Lord Nelson, or, you know, we have some greats coming
50 years from now, youths
Tobago.
might not know who's these people.
Oh my gosh, don't say that.
Yeah, it is a reality that we have to face, and when you look at it, it is proven because for ages, we still haven't done it.
Yes.
We still ain't start to, you know, actually lift up persons and let people feel a sense. I mean, money is not everything, you know.
Yes.
Sometimes you just commend somebody and pat them on the shoulder and say, hey, excellent job, and that will change a lot of things.
Yes.
You know, so we need to start to support each other and really understand that it's something that we need to do if we want to see elevation.
Yes. We have to believe in our, in the veracity and in the value of our products.
Correct.
Right? We have to believe that they are worth supporting. And if you don't start here, you know, how will we ever get anywhere? You
For
know,
example,
two things stand. Tell me.
For example, as how we are in the orange economy. This is, before I say, this is not me pointing a finger or bashing anybody, right?
Right.
But when we look at Tobago Carnival, for example, we have an influx of Trinidadians that come to perform here. And us being our natural self, we welcome persons. You know, we treat them better than we might treat ourselves. You know, that is something Tobagonians do. They treat guests better than they might treat themselves, you know?
Wow.
But when you really look at it from the other side, Trinidadians not going to invite Tobagonians to come down there to feed here.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and that is one sign to show that is evident that we don't believe in our own and we don't support our own. And therefore, Trinidadians and the rest of the world will not see the need to do it because our people don't see the need to do it.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that, you know, not because I don't think it's true. I mean, if that has been your experience, that is real for you.
Yeah.
And if, you know, a few people have said that that's been the experience, enough for, you know, for us to sit up and listen, you know. And I was listening to somebody, they were doing a podcast and they were talking about, you know, their Nigerian friends, they only watch Nigerian movies, right? They don't watch British movies, American movies. And you know, some of these local Nigerian movies, they're real local, right? And they're like, you know, how you don't watch any Nigerian, you know, outside of Nigeria, you don't watch anything else. They're like, you know, why would I bother to watch other people? This is my people, this is my culture. I have to watch them because this is how we're going to get better at it, right? And not just better, but this is us. Like, even when it's local, like that's us, right? That's us in our village. I know good few people who's walk and talk just like that. So I've seen myself. And that's what we need to fall in love with watching ourselves, seeing ourselves, the way we talk, the way we carry about ourselves. You know, sometimes you see people on TV performing, and if you're not in love with watching yourself, not you as the person, but you're a representative of what your culture is, and saying, I feel proud. You hear how she say, are we gal? You hear how that's how we speak. That's our thing. That's what people,
Right,
And
yes.
that is and Mia Motley talked about it as well. That pride of place to even hear your own accent as a Caribbean person, your own slang, your own voice, the way you say certain things. You gotta fall in love with yourself.
Correct.
And I agree with you. It's not just self-love, but identity love.
Correct.
Loving your identity. And that's important.
Very.
As a soca artist, we're talking about identity love. How did you formulate your identity as Gerard Balfour, the artist?
All right. I will say, I think my walk is a walk of purpose. So it wasn't me really going out there to say, well, I want to make my name, I want to do this, and I want to do that. I more so was placed by the Most High to do certain things. So my name came from, I used to teach a lot of schools, steel pan. I must teach all the schools. I went to 3 secondary schools. I've been playing and winning competitions since 1998. I won majority of the competitions in Tobago. Then I branched off. When I reached my peak with pan. I'm not the best, but for me, I think that I wanted to do something new. So I went into music production and songwriting and engineering. And with that created new opportunities and gave me a wider fan base. You know, so I guess it is with the experience of my walk, my journey is what made Gerard Balfour.
Yes.
You know, made my name.
And I feel the sense that you're grounded. You're grounded, you're proud of not just your identity, but your identity as a Tobagonian, as a local person. And we use the word local, not synonymous with low standard, but meaning community. We know Gerard, right? Exactly. You know, when you see your artists, you want to be able to say, hey, I know them. You know, we don't have to wait for Rihanna to turn up, right? Because let me tell you, when Rihanna goes to Barbados, right? It's the place turn up, right? And as you say, it's only when you leave and come back, people love you. But let's not wait for that.
Because
let's not wait for that.
It's like people not observing what's taking place. You know, it's like a lot of persons just living, you know, and not really understanding that everything that you do in life, you have a purpose, you know, and even though you might not have the authority or the power to make a change or whatever, you have a voice.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, there was a saying, evil will continue if the good stay silent.
Yes.
So when we see, for instance, let me talk about the cultural art form, when we see that mediocrity is being placed out there and the people clapping, but the good ones who know here as well, these know how really it's supposed to go. If the good ones stay silent, then it will continue.
That is true.
Yeah, it will continue. And it's somewhat of an endorsement when it stays silent.
Yes.
Yeah. So we really have work to do, because when you really check it out, Tobago is a very nice place, but we are back. We are far back within a lot of things.
Yes.
Agriculture, we far back with a lot of things. So we need to not play catch up, you know, we need to wake up, you know, and start doing what we know 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years from now. We could say this has begun in 2023 and it's still going. Other good benefits coming out of the actions we take today.
Yes. I think I want to look at it as in an optimistic way. We are on a good footing, and if we ramp up our activities, we can catch up.
Yeah.
Right? I think if we ramp up, and that's important, you know, understanding where you are, understanding what you're doing, the purpose that you're doing it for, and how far you can go if you were to put your shoulder to the wheel, so to speak. I think a lot of things can be, put in place to benefit artists, and they're probably slow in coming. We need to probably just ramp it up,
Our next thing that we have persons, for some reason, I don't know if it's part of our culture now, where we keep shuffling. So therefore, if progress is happening here, shuffle again. Somebody else could come and have to take over. Then they might do something different. They might have different vision. Then daytime done, shuffle again.
Yeah.
So with that now, we have no progress because we always have things like undermining taking place. I'll give you a personal experience. Within me, as an artist, I've been performing since, I would say, age 10. And I've only now started distributing my music to the world on the digital platforms. Before I happened to do that, there are Tobagonians that has the information as to how you could go about doing it. But the Tobagonians not telling you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
I had that personal experience. They would not give you the information to better you.
Right.
A Trinidadian gave me the information.
Yes.
And now I'm distributing my music.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, it's those kind of things that I will say, not only keeping back me, it's keeping back the entire Orange economy. Because by you helping me, I can help others.
Yes, that is so true, Jared. We're out of time.
Yeah.
Because we have some music to share. This is a conversation.
Yeah.
Artists, the Orange economy, creatives, we don't just want to do a talk shop.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that things are done, right? So that what we are proposing comes into effect so that it can have an effect.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And it continues to grow.
Yeah, we're doing some good work, people. I have to say that, but I am hearing and I am seeing we're not doing enough, right? We're not doing enough, not fast enough, not quick enough. So let's ramp up those activities and really support our creatives. Listen, we have no right answers for this trivia question today because we're going to be finishing off on a high note with Jared and Balfour and Cupid, right? They did a song this year and we're going to be finishing up. So let me just say, I'm not too proud of y'all, those who did not type into the Googler, right, the other name for Dasheen, because I got no right answers. Bring up the question again. Maybe they'll type it. Maybe they'll send us the answer quickly. The provision Dasheen is known by another name. What is it? The provision Dasheen is, Jared, if you know the answer, don't say it. It's known by another name. What is it? Give us the answer, please. Do we have an answer? No? Okay. We don't have an answer. Or we do. Taro root. The Googler didn't give you all that. I'm going to have to share lashes today. Right? The Googler didn't tell you all. Come on, guys. Monday. We're going to be waiting for this trivia question answer. Go and get the Googler out. Dust it off and get those answers. We're heading into some really nice Friday vibes. A little music. Yeah, Jared?
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for tuning in with us as we head into some musical, creative vibes. Enjoy your weekend. Be good to each other. Be good to yourself. Be good to humanity. And enjoy your weekend.
Where? Cultural temptation. A temptation is a cultural temptation. Get them. Play your wife. She tempting him and watch. She tempting him. Give me something. Oh God! They move it! Get them! 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 Hurry up! Get them! Get them! Get them! Get them! Get them! Get them! We're gonna do for us! 1, 2, 1, 2! I love to see bars rolling up from the decibel down. When I'm coming out on the road, making out every call. We want to take time. All ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go. Look how she whining. I think she back and she flexing. And on she be and she rolling. Hey girl, come down from there. She take up in the air. She have her body really not moving. my Lord. You want to sing it again? I feel like. Lord, let me hear them. I feel like. Sing. I feel like temptation take over me. One more. Top. I feel like